hierarchy. And Jesus is fine as long as he fits in one of our boxes. That's the other thing. I had a bunch of boxes at home. I was going to make a bunch of boxes. And what box do you put Jesus in? Do you think he was a great teacher? Do you think he was a prophet? Is that the box you put him in? Was he warm and fuzzy, loving you? You put him in that box. Was he a genie in a bottle? You put him in that box. The Pharisees had extra boxes. They had, maybe he's Elijah, come back. Or maybe he's a prophet. Or maybe he's John the Baptist, risen from the dead. Anything but the real box. And the thing, the real problem is that Jesus doesn't fit in any box. Jesus is the box. And the irony of this whole situation is the only ones that had it right on Palm Sunday was the rocks. Think about that. Next time you say I'm dumb as a rock, remember that the rocks were the only ones that had it right. And why did Jesus say the rocks would cry out if everybody's quiet? Because the rocks knew who he was. They knew that he was the creator, the one who had spoken the world into being. They knew that he was the Redeemer, the one who came to seek and to save what was lost. The rocks were the only ones that had it right. And now it comes down to you. What box are you going to put in? And the thing about the boxes that the Pharisees had, and even his disciples had, and the modern churches today have, is that the purpose of putting him in a box is so that we keep him in his place. So that he doesn't start telling me what to do. And hopefully if you follow some things in the contemporary church, so you can start telling him what to do. It's called name it and claim it. I'll tell him. I'll tell God what to do. I'll tell Jesus what to do. And if I do it right, he can do it. He'll do it for me. Back to the question. Who is this man? He's the Lord of Lords and King of Kings. He's the Creator and the Redeemer. He's the one who sits on the throne. He's the one who spoke the world into being. He's the one who's in charge. He's the one that even the rocks recognize as the Lord of all. Now there's an advantage to recognizing Jesus as the Lord of all. You know, it's an American thing to say, what's in it for me? But let me tell you what's in it for you. If you recognize Jesus as the Lord of all, you put him in his right place and you put yourself in your right place. And when you do that, things work out the way they're supposed to work out. When we put Jesus in his proper place, when he says, I am the way, the truth, and the life, then it puts us in the proper place so that we can follow him to heaven. When Thomas asked him, how do we know the way to heaven? Jesus said, come with me. And you see, if Jesus is just a good guy, that doesn't work. And if Jesus is a great teacher, it's nice to learn a few things, but how's that going to get you to heaven? And if Jesus is the king of the Jews, like the disciples were hoping and trying to get rid of the Romans, that's just a temporary thing. But Jesus is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, the ruler of the whole universe. And when I come to Him and give my heart to Him, and He gives Himself to me, wow! Wow! Unbelievable! There are all kinds of jokes about what it's going to be like when we get to heaven. And you've heard of, maybe you've told some of them. My favorite one is the story of the taxi driver that went into heaven before the preacher. And when the preacher complained, St. Peter said the taxi driver scared the hell out of more people than you did. Think about that for a minute. You'll get it. But guess what? It's not about who's the best person. It's not about who did everything right. It's not about who messed up too much. It's about Jesus, who is the way, the truth, and the life. When I stand at the gates of heaven, and they say, "What did you do that I should let you in?" I will say, "Nothing." That's what I did. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I was a schmuck. I was a dub. Well, my wife thinks I'm a nice dub, but I was a dub. And they said, "So why should we let you in?" And I would say, "Because Jesus is a friend of mine. And Jesus gave His life for me. And He said if I go with Him, I can come." And they'll say, "Well, why didn't you say so? Come on in." Palm Sunday brings this question to a head. For the Jewish nation, for Jesus' disciples, and for us. Have you given your heart to Him? Have you put Him in His place as the Lord of your life? Not to tell Him what to do, not to control Him, but to allow Him to control you. And whatever you do, don't be dumber than a bag of rocks. Let's pray. Father, I thank You for making it as plain as You can. I pray that You would use even the feeble words that I shared this morning to make it a little clearer for people, for these my friends. That as they think of Jesus, they will see Him as He is, the Lord of Lords and King of Kings, the Creator, the Redeemer, Lord of all. Help us each day to make him the Lord of our lives. Help us each day to allow him to share with us what we need to hear, rather than trying to tell him anything. Thank you that he is so wonderful, so awesome, that he is worthy of putting our lives in his hands. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.